Hello, everyone. My name is Bruce Wilson. Welcome to Straight Talk Vermont show. I got a special guest here today, but before I get to our guest, I want to talk about some of our events for with our program, Art So Wonderful. Art So Wonderful has been around since 2003. And we have a lot of events. We've done a lot of things with art galleries in the malls, all the murals you see around town. It's part of our Art So Wonderful boxes. 70% of murals in Burlington are our murals, and so we're kicking it real good. This year we have 8 programs at that Art So Wonderful is doing. We're doing we're doing art, of course, and we're doing music, jazz fest kind of on June. We're doing a reggae rock show. And it's right in Contour's Auditorium, and it's all gonna be free. Isn't that nice? Yeah. I know, man. I can't wait. And then, of course, Jess Hyman's coming with, because we do Know Your Rights, Human Rights Commission, and other people. The Lions Club is going to come. Guess what? They're going to be right on the stage doing the service that they do, man. They're going to give eye exams and free glasses, man. Awesome. How nice is that? Because I know, I said, what I try to do with the people who's going to be coming to Know Your Rights is to actually come and do the service you can, best you can, instead of getting our brochures.
That's what it's about.
I know.
Yeah.
So there we go. So we're here on the show with Paul Dragon, a CVOEO CEO. Yeah. And is that the president? Are you the president too?
I'm the executive director. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's right. It's a nonprofit. Well, anyways, you CEO from now on, bro.
I just got a raise.
You did? Hey, that's good, bro. So, Paul, we're just going to let you handle it, but tell us about what is CVO, especially what's the acronym stand for?
Yeah, it's, thanks, Bruce, for having me. It's Champlain Valley Office of Economic Opportunity, and we are a community action program, and our mission is to promote racial, social, environmental justice for Vermonters, and we have 13 different programs, and the way we think about it is we have crisis programs, we have shelters for people experiencing homelessness. We do a lot of food work, food shelves, food delivery. We have crisis fuel. Then we have longer term solutions to poverty. So, Head Start, weatherization, micro business. So that's kind of the way we're set up as an agency.
That's nice, and you have a team outreach team that goes out to I was with Jess Hyman because from the Human Rights Commission. We did what do you got? I can't even think of what we did.
It was the conference with the human rights?
That's right. We did the conference.
That was great.
The Human Rights Civil Rights Summit, right? And then we did. We was at Montpelier, and then Jess was there, and so. I'm all twisted up because I just got through coming to working in my friend's basement, and his pipe broke, and so I've been out there hustling. Water's coming out.
You've been doing the real work.
I know, it's crazy, it's crazy, But so I'm a little, not in tape right now. But anyways, so you still got you still have the micro business.
We do, and Jess is our director for the Fair Housing and the Vermont Tenants program. So that is a statewide program. A lot of CVOEO programs our federally designated area is Chittenden, Addison, Franklin, and Grand Isle counties. And then we also have some statewide programs. We do work for Fair Housing statewide. We have the Mobile Home Park program, the Vermont Tenants program, and our Office of Racial Equity and Community Inclusion is statewide as well.
Wow, so I also want to have participated in your fair housing program in April. I think Jess said she's going to announce a lot of stuff for our Know Your Rights program. So with their profile and promotions with fair housing. That's so good. I love that
It's program. A great integration. It's a great combo, and we appreciate your support. So April 3rd, I think, is the kickoff event. So that'll be good.
Know Your Rights is March 14th. But so we're a little ahead of it. But you know what? I love working with your team, Jess and my niece Khalil Livingston. That's my niece.
I didn't know Khalil was there. Khalil is amazing.
Oh God. Khalil is amazing. I call her Governor Khalil. She's just so smart. She keeps me on track. Saying I appreciate she work. You know, I had her apply for some outreach work, and she didn't get the job because it was overwhelmed with applicants for the outreach program you guys were even hired for. And just said, Bruce, we're gonna try to, something else coming up, and hopefully we know.
Great addition to our team.
Oh, she's so smart, man. Yeah. She's so right on point. She can host this show like nothing. Way better than me. But so I appreciate your team. I love your team. We was in what was that? So everywhere we go, like Human Rights Commission was in I forget what I forget what state we was in when we did the HUD event.
Oh, I don't, was that Massachusetts you all went down to, or New Hampshire maybe?
No, I was so blind.
Yeah.
But anyways, they love to see them all there. Everybody's helping out the way they do the work they do. And Jess has always been incredible since I've known her. Yep. She's still smart, man. She's a good. She don't like. She said, "I got." She got to go over and talk. MC or do something. Yeah. But she does it. Saying all the time.
You got a great team of people. Yeah.
So you have a program for little kids, right?
Yeah, so we have a Head Start program.
Head Start,
and Head Start started, federally in the 1960s, and CVOEO has had it since we started in 1965. We had 242 children come through the program. It's the largest Head Start program in the state. So we have early Head Start and regular Head Start. So it's everything from pregnant moms to 5 years old, and we have classes all around the 4 counties. Head Start is an evidence-based, wonderful education program. It integrates learning with mental health, medical supports, parental leadership. It's just a great program.
Can you name some of your other programs? I know you got 13 to talk about the new one, the 13th one.
So our micro business program is really cool. We've supported hundreds of micro businesses since we started, and many right here in Burlington. And that's a really powerful program because it does help people get lifted out of poverty, and it creates jobs for the community. It's like an economic engine, so that work's been great. We have a financial education program where we have finance coaches working with people who come in to understand their finances, which is super important right now, and it integrates with the Fair Housing program. We provide a preferred renter certificate. So somebody who has a poor rental history can go through this class and then get financial information coaching, and then learn about how to be a good tenant, and they get a certificate, and landlords love that because they'll often waive poor rental histories if they've gone through that. So that's important because, Vermont has a high eviction rate, and we can't afford any more homelessness. As you know, Bruce, in this state, we can't afford it. It's
not only that, I wasn't evicted, but I had a you guys helped me with some housing stuff too. I used the service myself.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm like, I hear, I'm not only the president, but so that, I really appreciate you, and all the things you do for our community and the people you serve. So keep going. You're going to talk about.
We have what we've been focusing on a lot right now is Vermont has the 4th highest rate of homelessness in the country, percentage-wise. And so we've been really focusing on developing shelters for people, and not just shelters, but like therapeutic communities where people don't have to leave during the day like most shelters, right? They can stay there during the day. Man. We get food, they get services. We're low barrier shelters. People can bring dogs, people can have it's only based on behavior, so if you're using or whatever, it really doesn't matter as long as you're respecting other people. So they're very low barrier shelters, and we've added on a Samaritan House shelter in Franklin County. The Champlain place is one of the biggest shelters in the state. We have 42 people there year around, and then we have
that's right on
Route 7 there.
7, yeah. Okay.
Then we have a 26-bed warming shelter there. As well, and we just added a family shelter. We just opened it up on Pearl Street here in Burlington for 10 to 12 families, for families with children who are homeless. And we are about to open our first and one of the first recovery shelters in Vermont over at 184 Pearl Street. So this will be for people who are experiencing homelessness, who want to be in a substance-free environment, because all our other shelters are low barrier. So these are folks who are saying, like, I am on maybe medically assisted treatment, and I want to be in a place where I can get peer recovery support. So that shelter is hopefully going to open in the beginning of March, and it'll be 12
That's
beds.
all good.
Yeah.
So is it, you got federal grants for
that money's coming through the state. It's through the Office of Economic Opportunity and the Department of Health. And it's a credential. It's a level 2 recovery shelter. So we've got to go through credentialing. It's at the old Act 1 building on Pearl Street.
Yeah, I know. When they first I know Social Security was like right across the street.
That's right, yeah.
And so, you know, I'm going to go backwards here, but you have been with the CVOEO for like 5 years now, right?
It's almost 6, yep.
Almost 6 years.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and just being a part of, what's it like being with part of the Peace Corps, man?
Yeah, so, I didn't know you knew I was in the Peace Corps, yeah. So that was in the Peace Corps. And it's strange because the Peace Corps and Community Action all developed in 1964 out of the Economic Opportunity Act, and so did Head Start. But yeah, I served in the Peace Corps in West Africa and Mali. And, you know, I think everything's like, it's kind of the same, right? The work, and I was in a village with 120 people, way up in the mountains in the Manding, and I think the same principles of community development apply there as they do here in Vermont. You got to listen to people.
Right.
You got to understand what people want to do, because if you try to impose anything, it's not going to work. So, you know, and you know from being on the Human Rights Commission, you got to listen to people.
Oh, you have to.
You know,
I'm a
it's
good
the only
listener.
way forward. Yes, you are.
Well, you know, I'm a good listener, and you know, like my programs have over 50 awards, and we've done over 700 events in the state.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot, you know. So like, I guess around 5 years ago, maybe a little before you got to CVOEO, it was a lot of new Americans came to Vermont. Yeah. And so, and I'm telling you, unlike Winooski, is like 23 different languages, a lot of them speak. Yeah. And so, how did you adjust it to new Americans coming to?
It's such a great question. So we established an Office of Racial Equity and Community Inclusion, and we have close to approximately 20 community ambassadors right now, speaking 17 different languages. So they do translation and interpretation, and they also do service navigation. So if people are coming here, whether they're an asylum seeker, refugee, or just somebody new to the country, our office can help them with all our other programs, but we also will provide services in their language and help get them settled. So that's a big part of the work that we do.
Nice. So let's go back to the Head Start. So then how many Head Start what locations you have?
Yeah, so I think we have 7 classrooms right now spread out through Chittenden County, Franklin County, and then Addison County. So, you know, and you can go into it's like incredible. You can go into a Head Start classroom, and particularly in Burlington, you know, you'll see a lot of new American families, which I think is great because that program really does do integrated services, dental, everything. So it's a really good stabilizing program for somebody new to the country.
Nice. And so let's talk about the weatherization program.
Yeah.
So how did that work?
Yeah, so weatherization, I think it's like one of my favorite things, and it's not something people typically think of, but you can, you know, we've got one of the highest rates of mobile home ownership in the country in Vermont. So about 1/3 of our weatherization work is done at mobile homes. And we go out to a lot of rural areas, and the weatherization team will go in and they'll do some needed repairs, and then they'll weatherize a person's home, which is, it's freezing out, right? So the difference it makes is amazing. And around the health and safety, they'll also take out vermiculite, which is a toxin like asbestos. And then we have a crisis fuel program. So if you're running out of fuel, or if your furnace is broken, you can get an emergency furnace repair and crisis fuel through CVOEO.
And so Efficiency, right? Let's go over that a little bit because, like, if you're doing revitalization, then you have, I'm not a guy, but in the lighting, like your house, like fluorescent, people don't have like fluorescent bulbs, but they have, some people have like their lights is not efficient,
That's right.
And so how that work together?
Yeah.
I mean, you do your weatherization person suggest it?
So we not only weatherize the home, but we can get funding to replace light bulbs and sometimes appliances to make them more efficient. And so when you do that weatherization work, you save $1. You put money right back into your pocket every month when you tighten up that house. And then when you do the energy efficiency work, that also puts money right back into your pocket.
Also, you get some rebates on when you buy
That's
those.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So I'm curious, how that work, how the rebates work. Like, say if you buy a new heating system or whatever, so like a water tank or something, the rebate, what do you call it?
Yeah, well, that's, we don't do like the rebate. So what we'll do is like we can put in energy efficient light bulbs, we can put in a new energy efficient furnace, we can do split heat pumps, and then it's really up to like Green Mountain Power or Burlington Electric to manage what the rebates are from there. We just deal with, we do free emergency heating repair and sometimes free furnaces as well.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, you got a lot going on, at CVOEO, and so, I know people need a lot of service things, so you pretty much cover it. But you pretty much cover everything that people need, But so how does it work when a person? I know you give, like deposits for home people need to come in.
Yeah. So we have funding for security deposits and for 1 or 2 months rent. That money has been cut by the state. So I was at the State House yesterday. We're advocating for more, we call it financial assistance. So, we need to really stop people from being evicted for non-payment. And one of the things that's really important to us is to make sure that we have adequate financial assistance so people don't get evicted. And that pairs really well with, we advocate for just cause eviction. Right now, people in Vermont can get evicted without cause. And 23% of the evictions, there's no cause on them. So one of the things that we want to do is make sure that landlords have to put a reason down for why they're evicting people. It makes common sense, right?
Yeah, right, yes. And so, it's a whole different thing, but, my little psychology mind, want to know, and that is, like when a person gets evicted, how long they give them before they have to move? You know that answer?
Well, I don't know the exact timeline. I do know the eviction process. It does take, like landlords will say right now, like it takes a long time to evict somebody. So why do just cause eviction? But having somebody understand the reason is really, really important. And then the timeline varies based on what the reason is. Landlords typically have a lawyer. Tenants never can afford a lawyer. So the imbalance there, and the timeline will change, but they do have to give due notice. I think it's 30 days, but I can't remember
that's
exactly.
no time, man.
Yeah.
Trying somebody to get evicted, they got to find a place in 30 days.
Well, you should check because I don't know the exact.
I'll check with them. Vermont Housing Finance Agency. Maybe they have some answers. But I'm just curious, about these things. And so, and I don't know, why do you think I don't know why they made that law or rule, but so whatever. So so how did that work for you guys? So when they come there, they gotta leave, right? And out of their apartment or a place.
If they have a notice and we have the funding, we can provide rental assistance. It's not a permanent thing, though, right? So they've got to be able to try to plan for the future to be able to afford the apartment. So it's a stopgap measure as we try to figure other things out and work with the family around financial planning and stuff. But yeah, it's it is a challenge. And when the financial assistance in the state was cut, we have less. So we had to go from 3 months of assistance down to 1 month. And that's tough, the timeline for somebody to change things dramatically in their life in terms of income and affording the apartment. 1 month is a hard turnaround. So we would prefer being able to provide up to 3 months of rental assistance.
So part of your mission statement, your goals or your objectives, or is about like equity, something like that. What was it again?
Yeah.
What was it?
So we, our general mission statement is for social, racial, and environmental and economic justice. But we also have a mission statement just for racial equity, and it came out of some of the events that happened 3 years ago with George Floyd, and it's a very prominent part of the two mission statements stand together on our website, and that's why we developed an Office of Racial Equity.
No, that was nice. I'm glad you did that. And I didn't know. I didn't see it first. So what do a nonprofit person like a president and executive director do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I mean, it's I think for one thing, to be an effective leader, you have to do many things, and one of the things is you have to kind of work alongside the staff and the team as much as possible, so you understand what they're doing, whether it's serving food at the Community Resource Center or helping out at the Miller Center, the extreme cold weather shelter. You can't spend all your time doing that, but you do have to be there with people. And then yesterday I was at the State House. There's a big H594 is a transformation of the homeless system and we think it's going to add homelessness. So we were there yesterday testifying, kind of against the bill and giving our recommendations for it. And then there's just a lot of program development. We've established almost 6 homeless shelters in the past 5 years, and we only had 1 before. So a lot of it is new program development. We're about to open up in July a new food shelf market down on Battery Street at our main office. So this will be a large market, free food for people who can also order online. They can come in and pick it up. They can get some people can get it delivered, and we have warehouses there right on Battery Street facing the lake, and it'll be a beautiful market that people can come into and get the food that they want, including food that if they're from a different culture, there's culturally relevant food that we get. So.
Nice. Now, is it going to be free?
Yeah, it's free food. Yeah,
nice.
It's free.
That's nice. So Miller Center on golf court.
Yeah.
So what's the capacity for? You call it a warming? Is it a warming shelter?
Well,
you call it.
There's different types of so we have a warming shelter that runs from November through April at our Champlain place, 26 beds. The Miller Center is a recreation center, as you know, right?
I don't play basketball.
Yeah, it's a great place, and there's a lot of programming there. When the weather gets extremely cold, the city, it's a designated emergency center. So the city shuts down the program,
I get it.
and then CVOEO opens it up for people to come in and spend the night. So last weekend we were open up 4 nights, and every night we've opened this year, we've had close to 70 people.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot in one place in the gym, and the logistics of setting everything up, all the cots, bringing in all the food, and then cleaning everything up for pickleball the next day. It's a lot of work.
So I know Milton, I don't know if they still have it, but they had I've been in them, a kitchen.
Yeah.
So they still have that, right?
There's a kitchen there. We cook food, and there's a dining area there, and people can come in. They're sleeping outside now.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So we set it all up, and we try to have some medical assistance on site, and it's a pretty big operation.
So those 70 people, that's a lot of people. Can you imagine homeless, man? And so what's the protocol for the people to even, first they got to be, they got to...
Anybody can come in, and there's no barrier. You just come in. Yeah, That's it. We take everybody. You have to.
So the people who are running that place, are I mean, what kind of staff here? That's kind of 70 people is a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna facilitate a group. It's like 8 to 10 for like one person, but you got 70 people.
And people are coming in with frostbite. People are older, living outside. We've had over 70 years old. People with chronic medical conditions. CVOEO runs it, and our staff is there, and some staff from other organizations join us, and we try to have like 6 to 8 people on, and provide the best care and the best food that we possibly can. It's pretty intense.
I know you guys do a great job. So let's talk about foods. Let's talk about the food shelf in the new addition in Burlington food shelf in Burlington, and they're building a new addition, right?
Yep.
So let's go over that again.
Yeah, so over at the north end, 228, used to be called Feeding Chittenden. We've changed the name to Feeding Champlain Valley because they cover all 4 counties. But the food shelf there at 228 has undergone a renovation, and we've built a second floor for staff, and then we've also expanded the Community Resource Center, and that's the largest site in the state for unsheltered homelessness. So we can get, on average, 130 people there a day. About 60% are unsheltered. So they come in there in the morning, and you've probably seen some folks line up waiting for us to open. And then there's hot meals throughout the morning, and we have clothing, we have care bags, and then we have people there who can help provide applications for housing and hopefully help them get into a shelter. But it's a really fundamental piece of the work, and we do not have funding for that after July 1st. If that closes, it's going to be a brutal blow for Burlington and our community, and especially for people who won't have that access.
So most of the people, that's lined up for food, which is awesome. But I've been out there myself because when I was coming here, I said, let me stop and get a cup of coffee or something. And they have nice meals there too. So it only go from like 9:30 to 10:30?
The meal service is from 9 to 11, and then the resource center is open all day, and that's for the hot meals. And you've seen it; it's like a buffet, right? And then you can always go in and grab sandwiches and salads and coffee and hang out for the whole day.
Nice, man. And the staff is there real nice too.
They're great.
I told I forget his name, one of the guy at the front door. I said, Paul's gonna be on the show. We're gonna stop it,
The expansion down there, I think it's going to be open next week maybe, but there's going to be couches, a lounge area, plants. It would be nice for folks.
So Paul, one thing I don't know how you, it's like one bathroom. They put another bathroom in the other addition, or what are they doing? Because it's like one bathroom for it's unisex.
I think there's going to be 2 bathrooms. There'll be 2 bathrooms. Are you saying there's not enough?
Well, one say staff only on one side. And the other side
there's
is
one bathroom, and then there'll be in the extension. We're going to open up those 2 that you see downstairs because there's going to be another one upstairs.
Okay, so staff can use that one.
Yeah.
And so. Is it more staff coming on?
No, it's the same staff. We don't have funding
I like those staff. They do a good job.
They're amazing people.
And they know everybody.
And they do outreach. Like they'll go down to the lake everywhere looking for encampments and helping people. Yeah.
So when they go down to the encampments, like in Barry Park or whatever, do they do a count? They take a measurement of what?
They know where they take account for themselves to understand where people are at so they can go back. But I think maybe what you're also talking about is once a year there's a point in time count.
Yes.
And it's only once a year, so it's not that accurate.
Right.
And it's all we have, and HUD requires it. And we go out once a year and we count everywhere, all over the country, count the number of people who are outside and experiencing homelessness.
Now the staff has, it's like the Howard Center have staff too, right?
Yeah.
And they're out there, so
we all work together.
They all work together, okay.
Yeah.
And so that's good. It's good. And then Howard's more like more of the mental health providers for out there.
Yeah.
But you guys doing that?
Yeah. Well, we're not like a mental health agency, but our staff is really skilled at like connecting with people, and if somebody needs a hot meal or if they need a coat, But what we really try to do is get them into shelter and fill out the housing applications, food, SNAP applications, 3 Squares Vermont, all of that stuff. So that work's really important. Howard focuses mostly on the Church Street area.
Right.
We'll go out more to the, Williston, Essex, and, different down near the lake, the skate park and things like that,
Yeah, so, wow. So demographics is go all the way up to Franklin County, you said, right?
Yeah, it's Grand Isle, Franklin, Addison, Chittenden, and then again, we have a lot of, statewide programs as well.
So I'm just curious now, since you said on Grand Isle, because what's going on in Grand Isle? I love going out there. When some people have some camps and stuff there. But what would be the high risk? I don't want to say economically challenged, situation out there in Grand Isle.
And in Grand Isle. Yeah. Grand Isle is, I think there's like 7,000 people on Grand Isle, and that is an area that, like every area, needs assistance. So there's not a lot of people. I don't know if there's anybody right now, there may be, camping outside on Grand Isle. We do have that in St. Albans in the Franklin County area. So, for Franklin, for Grand Isle, most of the people come to our community action office in St. Albans. We do not have one in the county out there.
Oh, gotcha. So, so let's talk about, because we got like 2 minutes. So let's talk about Fair Housing Month, right? Yeah. And what's going on with that? Tell me.
For a whole month, there's going to be events. You're going to be part of that, and we'll line up speakers. I think what our team was talking about this year was like, what do you call it? It's people telling their stories.
Oh, wow.
So rather than having like a big speaker or something, people with lived experience can come up and tell their story. What is it? The moth, like the moth, I think.
Yeah, I think yes. And so that's cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that, but that's a good. You have so much going on. I mean, with all the different businesses that you operate, within CVOEO, that it's nice to people can tell their stories, about
it's important.
life experience,
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody, I forget who it was, that you can get, boy, you think I want to go to college. I said, what you been doing? You can go get a daggone degree with your life experience here. You can.
That's exactly right. You learn the most from people.
That's right.
That's right.
So, okay, Paul, so, what you want to finish this show out with saying?
Well, I want to finish with appreciation for you and your work and how you connect with our community. And I just hope that CVOEO can continue to be a deep connection for this community.
Right. You want to say something to your audience there before you go?
Yeah. Thank you for your support, and always let us know how we can be better, do more, and how we can stay deeply rooted in our community. Nice.
You guys do such a great job, and I'm glad to be a part of you guys. Like when I see CVO, I'm like, yeah, we got some powerhouses in here. And I feel like everywhere I go, you guys are across the country. You guys are there, they're trying to get the information that you need to continue to get better,
Thanks,
Bruce. So, Paul, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, my friend.
See you soon.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody who joined Straight Talk Vermont. We'll see you real soon.